what if, what if the key to massive success, or maybe the location of some terrible secret, wasn't something you worked for?
Right.
What if it was just sort of dropped into your lap
Right.
instantly?
Yeah.
Our source material today, well, it takes us on a real deep dive into creativity obsession. And honestly, the pretty profound cost paid when that line between, normal reality and something impossible just tears open.
That's basically our mission here. We've gathered several accounts that all seem to connect. Memoirs, interviews, some investigative documents too.
Okay.
And they all pivot around one single, really inexplicable event, a trigger.
A trigger event.
Yeah, and this wasn't just like a minor life change. For the people involved, it was often a violent psychological shift.
Wow.
So we're charting the price tag, you could say, on getting knowledge you didn't earn.
Wow.
And the self-doubt that just seems to follow.
Okay, let's look at the inventory.
Yeah.
So we kick off with what really looks like a winning lottery ticket.
At first glance, yeah.
The story of two men from Harlow, Maine. Laird Carmody, who becomes this hugely famous author, and Dave Butch-Leverdier, an artist also famous.
Right, and the sources are super clear. These guys were, just countrymen living country lives.
Running the town dump, coaching kids sports, that sort of thing.
Exactly, until suddenly, boom, middle of their lives, their careers just explode. International success, seemingly out of nowhere.
Okay, so what happened? There has to be a catalyst.
There is. It all points back to one specific moment, a hunting trip. 1978.
Right.
They were out in the 30-mile wood near a place called Jalassi Creek. And they came back looking, the quote is like, they saw a ghost.
Okay.
And the sources, particularly Carmody's manuscript, they detail this just unbelievable encounter. First, these weird lights.
The lights, like UFOs.
Sort of, but described as slowly moving circles of bright light in the clouds, not reflecting off them, but inside them.
Weird.
And then they find the source, a young woman, Eula, and a young man, clearly not human, and badly hurt.
Not human.
Okay.
And they were hurt.
Yeah. And Laird, he had some basic training, apparently, and an EpiPen for bee stings. He uses it.
Did it work?
It helped, maybe, but the sources say that wasn't the real saving act.
Oh, what?
This is the crucial detail. It gets kind of metaphysical. Laird performs CPR. He gives the woman his primal breath.
Primal breath.
Yeah, that's the term used. The companion entity, the male one, specifically points to that moment, the CPR, the breath exchange, as when the transfer happened.
The transfer of what?
Genius, basically. Creative energy. The entity called the talent they got afterwards a souvenir.
A souvenir?
Of saving Yella's life. It wasn't random. It was like settling a life debt.
Wow. Okay, so that's the trigger.
Yeah.
And the impact.
Immediate. And huge. Butch, who'd only ever painted like goofy murals at the dump.
Right.
He suddenly just needs to paint real art. Stunning stuff, apparently.
And Laird, the writer.
His writing, which was described as pretty hackneyed before, suddenly produces this incredibly powerful opening scene for his first bestseller, The Lightning Storm.
The burning barn image.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Exactly. Came out of nowhere, fully formed.
But there's a catch, right? There always is.
There's the rub. And it's the core of Laird's memoir, really, this psychological weight. If the talent was a gift, a souvenir, something given, not earned through practice and struggle.
How could they ever really trust it?
Precisely. Laird wrestles constantly with this idea that even though the work was objectively successful, critically acclaimed,
This felt like a fraud.
he felt like a stenographer, just writing down something that wasn't truly his, transcribing a borrowed spark.
That's heavy. So massive success on the outside,
Yeah.
but crippling self-doubt on the inside, this feeling of being posers.
If the work itself, like The Lightning Storm, is undeniably good, why does he insist they were frauds?
Because the effort wasn't linked to the result in the way they understood it.
Exactly, that disconnect. External validation versus internal authenticity. That's the hidden burden, the curse of the unearned gift.
They were brilliant.
Yeah.
But they couldn't be sure the brilliance was actually theirs. That ambiguity haunted them. Okay, so if that first case is about the burden of creative ambiguity, this next one flips it.
Right.
This is about the sheer violence that can come from absolute, undeniable certainty.
This is where the dark side of sudden knowledge really shows itself. It turns what seems like an insight into an instant curse.
So who are we talking about now?
We shift to Kansas. a boy named Danny Coughlin, a school custodian.
Okay.
He has this dream, and it's not just vivid, it's agonizingly specific. Like a blueprint.
A blueprint for what?
Tragedy. He dreams of a very specific abandoned location, the old Hilltop Texaco.
Got it.
It's up a hill on County Road F. And in the dream, the sign. It's been defaced. Maliciously.
Okay. Disturbing.
And then he sees a body, just a hand sticking out of the oily ground, wearing a very specific charm bracelet. He knows it's a woman named Yvonne Wicker.
So incredibly specific details. What does he do?
Well, he does what you'd hope someone would do, right? He goes there.
To the spot from the dream.
Exactly. And it's all there. The Texaco, the defaced sign, the hand, the bracelet, precisely as he dreamed it.
Chilling. So he reports it.
He does, anonymously, using a burner phone. But here's the problem.
The details.
The sheer clarity, the specificity, it's too perfect. It immediately makes him the prime suspect.
Because who else could know all that?
Only the killer. That's the logic.
Oh, man.
And this is where Inspector Frank Jalbert comes in, KBI investigator.
Okay. What's he like?
The sources paint a picture, always wears a black coat, has these unsettling peg-like teeth.
Right.
And he cannot handle the idea of a psychic insight solving a crime. It just doesn't fit his worldview.
So he focuses on Danny.
He fixates on him instantly, calls him the psychic hero.
Psychic hero. Sarcastically, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. He believes Danny came forward either to confess indirectly or worse, to kind of show off about his crime.
And the source material talks about Jalbert's own issues.
Yes, deeply. He has this compulsion, arithmomania.
Arithmomania. Counting things.
Pathologically. Counting steps, counting chair legs in a room, running his hand over them. A need to control, to impose order on everything.
Okay, that's key.
It really is. Because it explains his reaction. Faced with something chaotic and unprovable, like a dream revealing a crime,
He can't handle it.
he needs to force his own version of order onto it. His pathological certainty becomes the substitute for the actual messy truth.
And that leads him to do some bad things.
Increasingly unethical things, all aimed at making sure Danny is convicted no matter what the evidence actually says.
Like what?
He plants drugs in Danny's truck, tries to frame him.
Seriously.
An investigator.
Yeah. And then he leaks Danny's name, along with case details, to the local free paper, The Plains Truth.
Oh, destroying his reputation. Completely. Danny's ostracized, loses his job. The whole town turns against him thanks to Jalbert feeding the narrative.
Did they ever catch the real killer?
They did, eventually. A local plumber named Andrew Iverson. DNA evidence, I think.
So Danny was innocent all along? Did Jalbert back off then?
Not a chance. His conviction about Danny being guilty never wavered, not even when Iverson was caught red-handed.
That's deeply disturbing. What happened to Danny?
It ends tragically, because Jalbert had so successfully poisoned the well.
Yeah.
The victim's brother, Albert Wicker, convinced Danny was the killer, confronts him and shoots him. Danny's gravely wounded.
Oh my God. Because of Jalbert's obsession.
Directly. And Jalbert himself. When his partner finally confronts him about everything, the planting evidence, the leaks,
What does he do?
he commits suicide. Still believing, apparently, that Danny was the real killer and that he, Jalbert, had somehow failed to bring him to justice.
Wow. So was the source suggesting Jalbert wasn't even about justice anymore? It was about proving the psychic thing couldn't be real. Or maybe validating the clarity of it, but twisting it.
I think that's exactly it. He couldn't handle the ambiguity, the dream's clarity, which Danny thought was a gift for doing good.
Became the weapon used against him.
Precisely. It was too accurate to be anything but the killer's knowledge in Jalbert's mind. His need for certainty just weaponized the truth.
It's a chilling example.
Yeah.
Perception, driven by one guy's obsession, ends up being more damaging than the actual facts.
Yeah. A really grim outcome.
Okay, we've seen unearned genius lead to self-doubt, and unbidden insight lead to persecution and violence.
Right.
Now, the source material takes us somewhere even stranger, perhaps, the actual physical transfer of trauma.
Like a haunting that gets passed on like furniture in a will, an unwelcome inheritance.
Okay, who's involved here?
This story centers on Vic Trenton. He's retired, moved to Florida, seeking some peace and quiet.
Serenity in Florida, the classic dream.
Exactly. And his neighbor is an elderly woman named Allie Bell.
Allie Bell.
Then Allie has a coping mechanism, a very intense long-term one.
For what?
For losing her twin sons, Jake and Joe, to rattlesnake bites. 40 years earlier.
Oh, that's awful. 40 years.
Yeah. And her way of coping for all those decades was to push an empty double stroller around.
Empty.
Well, she kept neatly folded shorts and shirts in it. For Jake and Joe, she treated them as if the boys were still there, in the stroller.
Wow. Was she? Delusional.
That's the fascinating part. She seemed perfectly lucid about it. She even tells Vic, offers him cookies one day and says, quote, "I know they aren't there, and yet sometimes they are."
I know they aren't there, and yet sometimes they are. That duality, that's crucial, isn't it?
Absolutely. It sets up what happens next, because Allie dies, suddenly.
Oh.
Heart attack near her mailbox. But there's this incredibly unsettling detail in the account.
What is it?
Buzzards were attacking her body before she was technically medically dead.
Wait, before Core? Attacking her while she was dying.
That's the detail provided. It makes the transfer feel predatory, almost intentional. Like the trauma itself was circling, waiting.
Okay, that is deeply creepy.
And she leaves Vic. What?
Everything. Her entire estate, the house, the money, everything.
Yeah.
And the haunting. She didn't just pass on property, she passed on her role.
The role of caring for the Phantom twins.
Exactly. The haunting kicks off for Vic almost immediately.
How does he experience?
The twins manifest, but horribly. Described as men's bodies, children's heads swollen with poison,
Ugh.
and he starts hearing their thoughts. He calls them thought snakes, burrowing into his mind.
Thought snakes. What do they say or think?
Compulsions, demands. See us, roll us, dress us.
Oh, man. They want him to take over Allie's routine.
Precisely. And the haunting physically centers on that squeaky double stroller.
The one Allie pushed.
The very same. It starts moving on its own. From the garage, showing up in the bathroom, then the guest bedroom. Always demanding service. So Vic inherited not just the house, but Allie's 40-year burden. He got the fortune, but lost his sanity to these ghost children.
It's the inheritance of trauma made literal. The horror wasn't just seeing them, it was the compulsion to serve them, to maintain the routine Allie had established.
What could he even do?
The psychological burden Allie had somehow contained became a physical reality Vic was forced into. His solution was, well, pretty bizarre.
How did he stop it?
He finally confronts them, in a way. He takes the stroller down to the beach and pushes it way out onto the wet sand near the waterline.
Why?
So the wheels get completely bogged down, mired in the wet sand.
Breaking the physical connection. The thing that lets them move, maybe?
That seems to be the logic. Breaking the anchor that tied them or their demands to the world. And it works. It silences them.
For a time, at least, the source implies.
Yes. But Allie effectively locked a stranger into the horror she had managed to contain for decades.
Vic's confrontation, pushing the stroller, it highlights the sheer weight of this trauma that got, literally transferred.
Yeah, it's a really unsettling account.
So what does this all mean? Tying it together, we've got three really distinct cases.
Yeah.
All involving these massive, life-altering triggers. A sudden gift of genius, a sudden terrible insight, and a sudden horrific inheritance.
And the connecting thread, the through line seems to be this. Whether the initial impact seemed good, like the talent,
or obviously bad, like the haunting,
the recipient fundamentally lost control of their own story, their own narrative.
Their lives became transcriptions. Is that the idea?
I think that's a good way to put it. Laird and Butch, they wondered if they were real storytellers or just, stenographers for some alien benefactor.
Taking dictation from the cosmos.
Kind of. And Danny Coughlin, he literally became a stenographer for a horrifying truth hidden in the ground. And trying to use that knowledge just made him the target.
Right. His accuracy was his downfall.
And Vic Trenton. He inherited a physical object, that squeaky stroller, that demanded he transcribe Allie's trauma through endless, repetitive, maddening care.
See us, roll us, dress us.
Exactly. The power of these accounts, I think, is how they make us, the readers, feel some of that same doubt and burden.
Yeah.
The source material itself reflects on this. Is the driving force a true storyteller or just a stenographer for something bigger, maybe terrifying? Imagination is hungry, it says.
And sometimes it feeds itself by crossing that line into reality.
Whether it's a burning barn appearing in your head, or a body under a Texaco sign, or a stroller rolling by itself, the cost is always peace of mind, your sense of self.
And that interpretation that really hits home. The cost of certainty, like with Jalbert, over accuracy, or sanity over riches, with Vic. The characters who try to control the knowledge from the other side.
Jalbert trying to force certainty onto the dream.
Vic trying to manage the unmanageable ghosts.
They failed. Spectacularly. And destructively.
Laird Carmody's manuscript had that quote from the non-human entities, right?
Yeah. The universe is cold. Intelligent life is rare.
Okay, but if consciousness can be gifted, like it was to Laird and Butch,
Or if dreams can literally reveal murder victims.
but if trauma can be inherited like a house,
Then maybe the rarest thing isn't intelligent life. Maybe it's just a quiet mind.
our sources definitely suggest that the biggest danger isn't the weirdness itself, the trigger event.
Right.
It's the irreversible change that comes after.
Yeah.
Knowing too much too fast. Being forced into a story you never wrote.
What happens when your life stops being yours and just becomes the transcription of something else, something alien and hungry?